Hello and welcome back to chair yoga. I want to tell you right off the bat here that we're going to have our foot on the chair for some of our postures and movements and stretches. So if you've got a hard surface chair that you think might be better if you had like a towel that you could fold up and put on the chair seat. So when you've got your foot up there, your bare foot up there, it's got a little bit of a cushion. Please do that. Maybe you run and get that if you could, if you got the time to just get yourself a cushion. I'm just going to encourage you to have that available. I have a pad on my chair, so I have it already all squared away. All right, well, as I say, welcome to chair yoga. Glad you're here. We're going to work on a couple things of strength. I want to be feeling like we're really working to become stronger physically, but also mentally, in our mental capacity, that we're able to, find a sense of equanimity. And I think our yoga practice has all of the tools and all of the kind of practices, all the kind of strategies that might really benefit our ability to build that capacity. So let's get started. I'm going to join you on the chair for our transitional time, our breath work. So get your block, if you will, get your blanket, or excuse me, your folded towel that could be off to the side for right now, and we'll begin. So I'm using the block between my thighs, kind of near the knees. I'm far enough forward on the chair that I have plenty of room underneath my legs, yet the pelvis is entirely supported by the chair seat. So let's sit up real tall, lift your chest bone up, squeeze that block just enough that it keeps the block where it is. It's not going to drop, but not so much so that you start to feel cramping in your legs. And let's turn palms up on our lap. And we're going to start with alternate nostril breathing. So you can either plug your nostril along the way, just take one of your hands, and usually the right hand is done that way, and plug and plug and plug. You could certainly do that, or do it by your intention, your imagination. We're going to start by inhaling through the left side of the body, through the left nostril, and exhaling through the right. So let's start with that. Inhale left, exhale right. Stay with it. Inhale, the full inhale and the full exhale. Just changing the nostril and the way that the breath is coming in and out. Inhale left, exhale right. Alternate nostril breathing is a great way to just start balancing out in the body. And it takes a lot of focus. So we start with a lot of mindfulness here. Inhale left, exhale right. Now stay on that side, turn it over right now, right side, inhale on that side. Exhale left. So we're now inhaling right and exhaling left. So we've just switched. So if you're plugging your nostril, just find the new pattern. Inhale right, exhale it out on the left side. Sit up tall, lift your chest. Breathe all the way in on the right. Breathe all the way out on the left. One more time. Take a big breath in through both nostrils. Big breath in through the nose. Exhale it out of your mouth like a sigh. Ah. One more like that. Ah. Eyes are still closed. Palms are open. Let your breath be as your breath is. Notice it. Notice how your body moves as you breathe. Notice how purposeful you're sitting. Palms are open. That's our gesture of receptivity. What are you open to receive? Let's set our intention. Soften the mouth. Hands are open on purpose, and you can really feel how that just brings you into the awareness of this receptivity. And so it is. Let's flutter the eyes open. Get used to the light around you. Inhale with me, palms will come together overhead. Lift up and get your arms as straight as you can. Exhale, bow at your heart. Let's hold it right there. Press your palms, let your elbows just extend away from each other. Bow at your heart. Real tall now, you're sitting up real tall in a bow. Inhale back up and exhale, come all the way around like a backstroke. Do 2 more. In sync with your breath. Last time is inhales up, exhales down. We're going to go right into the cow and the cat. And I'm going to turn to the side. Don't you do it, but I really want to work on this cow and the cat. So I'm going to turn to the side so you can be aware of what I'm talking about. So we start off with gliding our arms alongside of the frame of the chair, arching the back so your chest bone comes forward and you feel like a scoop, arch of the back. Now, I want you to really pay attention to how your low back, your lumbar curve is. You're exaggerating that. If you're doing this right, we can feel an exaggeration in the lumbar curve and an exaggeration in the upper thoracic curve of the spine. So I want you to feel that arch like a scoop of the back body. You know, we've done it 1,000 times, but really notice those 2 particular areas of your spine. More exaggerated in the lumbar curve, much more exaggerated in the upper thoracic area. And head is neutral for right now, neutral head and neck. Now, this new technique, as we come in to practice our cat, grab hold of your kneecaps so your shoulders stay right above your hips. Now, really suck your belly in so the navel area or center part is pulling back. Now, notice the lumbar curve in the upper thoracic area, right? It is completely a counter pose for that. Instead of the exaggerated curve, we're rounding into those parts, sucking the belly way, way in. So we're creating a dome shape of our back body. So just be aware now, just a new awareness and naming it, lumbar curve, upper thoracic. And let's do that as our vinyasa. So slowly but assuredly, we start moving into the inhale, which takes us into cow, and into the exhale, which takes you into cat. So pay attention now. Maybe a little bit of a new awareness. Maybe you've always understood it that way. Great. But I want you to just notice that movement and how they are counter poses of one another. Shoulders, we're kind of really making sure our shoulder carriage stays over our hips. So we're not bringing ourselves forward, not at this point. Keep going and connect it with your breath. Big inhale, so you have plenty of time to get into that cow, plenty of time to release it all into the cat. Stay with it. Last time, inhale and exhale. Let's come all the way up to neutral. Lift those arms up. Palms are facing forward. Be intentional about the way you're holding your hands. I'm choosing the mitten hand. Inhale is here. Exhale is in the goddess position, so bent elbows. Inhale up. So hopefully you're feeling some movement around your shoulder blades. Any exaggeration of movement that you can do. So maybe you pull back a little bit, create that back bend again. Maybe not, but we're trying to find some movement around the shoulder blades. It's done as a vinyasa this time, inhaling up, exhaling, bent elbows, maybe pulling back. Pay attention to how you're managing the weight of your head. We don't want tension in the neck. Excellent. Next time you're reaching up, let's pause right there. Lifting up, reaching. I want you to press your feet to the floor like you're making an imprint on that floor. Press your feet. So now follow that engagement all the way up through your legs, squeezing into the block, through the belly region, shoulder carriage, relax everything around your neck. Strong, straight arms. Let's take an inhale together. Exhale, come on down right alongside the frame of the chair. No movement of the spine, really. We're just moving up and down. Feel the movement and you're stretching your back muscles. So maybe there's no movement of the spine, but there's movement in the back in terms of muscular strength and stretch. Go up and back. So we're finding the full range of movement, down and back. Take your time with it. So you've got a long inhale to give you all the time you need to do it. And the same thing with the exhale, all the time in the world to do that full range of movement. Lift up, hold it. Palms come together, look up. Let's take our inhale now, big inhale. Exhale, bow, and we're going to pause at the bow. Palms pressing toward each other, and the elbows are pointing, pushing away from each other, bowing. So you feel the length and strength of your spine, and you've taken the weight of your head out of it by bowing, letting your chin drop towards your chest. That's it. When we lift our head, come back to neutral. Take that left arm and extend it out and just flip it so palm is up and palm is down. I like to go all the way around in a 360 degrees. You find what you can do here. Rotating your arm throughout its socket there. So if just turning from palm up to palm down is really the range of movement you can easily access, and that's what you're comfortable with, then do it that way. If you can go all the way around so it feels like you have gone in a 360 degree turnabout here, let's do that. Now extend that arm and turn your head to look at it. And this is about your neck. So you've just set yourself up to see about range of movement. It's kind of like this is a measuring device. You know, how far can I turn in this direction? This is the measuring device we use often in this class, right? We turn and look, and now we have an idea from class to class, time to time, about the range of movement we have discovered. Keep yourself very upright, including how you're holding your head. So your chin, your jawline, let's say, is parallel to the floor. So it's neutral. And you continue to kind of turn as a green light might show up, that you're going to see if any space opens up to turn further toward, you know, the back of you, toward that direction, but investigating if there's more range today. Let's turn the head back to neutral. The arm stays put. Lift up, reach up. Now let's get both arms involved. One arm reaching up. We're doing the splits here. One arm is reaching up toward the ceiling. The other one is doing that same kind of effort, reaching toward the floor. Let's turn our head to look at the one that's reaching toward the floor. Dip your head, stretch your neck, look down, breathe in, breathe out. Both arms feel active. Now for me, the one that's reaching up seems stronger and much more active, but I'm doing my best to spread it apart so both of them are, you know, engaged. Let's get our head now lifted so we can look at the hand that's reaching up. Press your feet, make that imprint. Breathe in, breathe out. Arm is real close to you. You're not extended. You're right, certainly within the frame of your chair. Head is neutral. Palms can come together overhead straight. As little bend as in the elbow as you can. Let's bow into that and pause. Breathing in, breathing out. And let's let our breath return to its normal breathing. And we're going to turn to the other side. And we're going to start circling around. So you want to find a 360 movement through the shoulder socket if you can, or otherwise turn palms up, turn palms down. That's going to still help. Keep yourself squared away. Don't lean. Feel the balance in your pelvis. Now right to left, you should be balanced. Rotate, rotate, breathe and feel it. Let's meet palms up. I turned my head, sorry. So I was already checking it out. We're turning to look. Maybe you've already done that too. So maybe we're kind of ahead of the game here. This side turning to feel our range of movement. Mine is always different on this side, which translates as less range of movement over here. Remember to smooth out the breath so there's a full inhale followed by a full exhale. Let's turn our head back to neutral. Let's do the splits again. One arm reaching up, the other arm reaching down. Press your feet. Dip your head to look at the hand that's reaching down. We'll get back to strong breath. We don't need a chest breath here. We need a belly breath. You need a full breath in and a full breath out. And this doesn't have to be done like a robot. You could dip your head like this and feel like, oh man, I got to kind of roll around a little down here. Do that. Follow your lead, that Guru Dev inside, that teacher inside you. You can trust it entirely. Now, gently and mindfully lift your head to look up at the hand that's reaching up. Get back to rhythm of breath. So in and out, deep. Both palms come together overhead. Exhale at the heart. Inhale up. Take a big backstroke to come all the way out. Let's move into some shoulder rolls. Go individually now. Keep your arms real close to the side. Move those shoulder blades. I want you to kind of turn your head while you're doing that. So as you move, you're going to sit. Again, we invite the turn of the head because it's kind of inseparable. The movement of the shoulder, neck, they go together. So let's invite in some movement of that heavy head of ours from side to side. Now let's come to neutral and then change the direction. So now the shoulders are rolling forward. So just again, what's happening is your shoulder blades are spreading apart. So that's nice movement too. And same deal, turn your head. And try to exaggerate the movement. Sometimes it feels ever so slight, but this particular way of rolling the shoulders has not much movement associated with it. So really try to get into it. See if you can exaggerate that movement. Beautiful. And come back to neutral. Now let's get a hold of the block. Remember how you've got your legs placed. You're going to have to pretend it's in there because we want those legs to stay exactly like that. As we just do some straight arm side to side bends. Keep the arms real close to the ears. Find your breath. Warming up the body, stretching, warming up. Let's come back to center. Maybe just drop the block for a moment and open up into your wider angle, heels in, toes out. I think I'm going to give you a side view just to get us started, but I'll probably come back to center. You, of course, do not need to change anything. We're folding forward, kind of reaching forward with the block on its high side. So stretch away from you. Bottom is still very much on the chair. So if you find, you reached way too far, bring yourself back so you feel very grounded in the chair and your arms are extended. Press your feet to the floor. And then just notice where you feel this in your body. Notice how this feels in your thighs, how your ankles, everything, your bottom, your shoulders, the extension of your arm, how you're holding your head. Find a nice smoothness of breath. And as you pause, you might find that something starts loosening up and that you could extend the block a little further away from you. Maybe that means a half an inch. Maybe it means 2 inches. I don't know. So you wait, and it might not occur. So you're not doing anything wrong if that didn't happen for you. But just be so mindful and alert to what the experience is in your body that when something starts to loosen up, you're there. Now start to move your block over toward one side. Choose a leg. I'm moving over toward the right, let's say. So you start moving over, and remember the pelvis has to stay balanced. So as soon as you start feeling listing up that you've left that side, then oops, I can't go that far, because keeping your bottom squarely placed on the chair has to be there. Now feel how different it feels when you've moved yourself off center. Now wait and look for something loosening up. Deepen the breath and make sure you're paying attention to how you're handling the weight of your head. There should be no strain in your neck. Don't look out. Try not to look at the screen. Keep your chin tucked. Those kinds of things will help. Is there any wiggle room, any way that maybe you go further to the right or farther away from your foot? Let's come back to center. Both hands to your thighs. Come on up. Let's take a little pause in between. That was quite a long time in an inversion. So just sit upright. Get your spine long. Catch up with your breath. Just wait. Sit up tall. We're going to allow ourselves to just adjust. The body's doing its adjusting. And if there's movement associated with it for you, that you got to wiggle around a bit. Now, here we are. The best way I know of to reset the body is to invite a twist in. So whichever side you went, well, did you go right? If you went right, then you're turning towards your right. If you went left, turn towards your left into a twist. Get the back hand to press into the back body. Get as far back there as you can. Use your other hand to grab hold of that side of your thigh. Give yourself a twist here. Find the balance between right and left in your sit bones, in the pelvic structure. So as we reset the body, we're going to use a twist to do it. Breathe in, breathe out. You want your spine to be vertical. You're not leaning back. You're not leaning to the side. You're bringing yourself upright. Unwind the head, unwind your shoulders and your arms. Let's go back to that center stretch. Catch up with your breathing. You're as far out there. You still feel the whole bottom, the sit bones connected, balanced. Now let's go the other way. Start to go toward the other foot. Keep your chin tucked. Don't need to look up. Feel your way into this stretch. Like you're playing with the block, that you can maybe pull it, step it away from your foot or over. Just play with it. What seems relevant to you? Maybe something I didn't even think of, but you got it. You're doing something different. Just be creative about it. Stretching. Keep your bottom on the chair balanced as best you can. You're balanced left to right, right to left. Let's deepen the breath. No strain in the neck. Beautiful. Let's come back to center. One hand at a time jumps to your thighs. Let's come on up. Just hold yourself in that upright position. Balance in the pelvis. Now, I have angled myself. Please don't think that's what you're supposed to be doing. You're still facing forward, just like always. Now, we're going to twist that same way. We want to offer our body a twist as a reset to the body. Keep your knees drawn open and twist. Get your back hand. Either you're holding onto the chair back there, or my favorite is getting your hand pushed back into the back body as far over there as you can, wrapping it around your back. Don't let your knees collapse toward the center. Keep them strong. Breathe in, breathe out, and pay attention to the sensation you're experiencing. Unwind from that. Let's unwind from that. And let's leave the block. You can tuck it under your chair. Let's do that. Let's tuck it under the chair for now. And let's move into some, leg movement. So I'm going to hold on to the chair. Grab hold of the chair as far back as you can, and we're going to lift. I always think about this as though the floor below got hot all of a sudden, and I have to get it up, get my foot off that hot floor. Keep working it to the point where instead of just the high knee, that you can feel how your shins are lifting, so your foot comes higher and higher. So pretty soon you've lifted your leg up and your shins are almost parallel to the floor. And there's such a range in between there, isn't there? So we're going to find what's our range. Lifting up the knees might be plenty good, plenty, much efforting involved. So that's what you'll do. If you're looking for more challenge and your body's kind of giving you the green light to go a little higher, that's what you'll do. Now let's open up the legs very wide into that wide angle. Continue to hold on. Take a big leap to jump over that and just switch side every time. So you're going to bring knees together from one side to the other with a big leap. This, of course, is moving into your hips and buttocks. We're going to do a lot of that today when we stand up. Last time. If it feels even to you. Now we're going to do the perineum, the work of the perineum. Hands are on the thighs. Place yourself with that angle that feels best to you. Let's start by pulsing forward and back. I want you to just get your chest to come forward and back. Kind of, maybe you'll feel it as a reset a bit. So just stretch forward and back. Meet in a halfway lift. That's what I call it. Just a half lift. So you're in a position of a diagonal line of the back body. Press your hands into your thighs. Keep your gaze down. There's no reason for you to crank your neck and try to look out. Now you know how to do it. Press your hands into your legs. Now, every time you inhale, you're going to feel the floor of the pelvis coming off the chair. You hold it as long as you can. You can feel the strength of your legs supporting that. And then exhale to release. That's all there is to it. We just repeat that, repeat that, repeat that. Toning, strengthening. I don't know about you, but this has become kind of it's become a big part. I was trying to think of a better word, a big part of my daily practice because it feels so beneficial. I can feel stronger in this aging body of mine. I feel stronger, more toned, more purposeful. Doing something that takes good care of myself all feels good to me. And I have an old favorite saying that feeling better is better. Stay with it, lift and hold. No tension in your mouth. You don't need any tension there. Keep all that engagement, all that contraction into the floor of the pelvis, lifting up, and how your inner thighs are supporting that. One more time. Beautiful. Let's come back up, rock your feet up, come back to standing, rock your feet up, come to standing. One more time, up and all the way up. All right. Let's start with our chair just as it was, no change at all. And hands are coming to that. So you're creating a tabletop position. Now start walking. So your shoulders, let's get mindful. Your shoulders are above your wrists. And we're going to do a plank pose. So that means we're going to have straight legs, but we're stepping back, and seeing if we can sort of plank out. Now, everybody's different. Some of you might have your butt kind of up there because you haven't practiced this in who knows how long. Plank pose is just that. You're trying to create what feels like a plank or a diagonal line through the whole back body down toward the heels even. So you find what you can in that straight leg, and then you can always come back and do it again. Plank pose, upper body strength. Now this time, I want you to stand up and take a look at the screen. So just stand up, take a look. I'm gonna step back, not quite as far as I was. Bend the knees like crazy, let my heels lift up. And can you see, and I can certainly feel how I've created a cow shape, the lumbar curve, the upper thoracic curve. Can you see that? That's going to carry us into downward dog. So you start pulling back. So now that downward dog has a cow inside of it. So try it again. So now everybody get to your chair. Shoulders above the wrists. Bend the knees, let your heels come up, feel the cow shape of the back. Keep that as you pull your butt back, pull it back, straighten out the legs, extend your arms. Your hands will probably have to move forward on the chair. Arms now are right alongside the ears, and you've created a downward dog that has that strong lumbar curve that the cow produces for us. Breathe in, breathe out, tuck your chin in towards your throat. One more time, let's do our plank. So we're bringing our shoulders up. Maybe you can get your feet to come back. Let's just create that long line, and everybody will be different. If you feel strong in your arms, you're doing exactly it. Try to create a dome through your back body. We don't want those shoulder blades to look like little wings back there. We want them to be full and strong. So kind of dome shape your back. And let's walk toward the chair. Bend the knees, come back upright now, nice and easy. Let's find a mountain pose, just right where you are. Arms are right alongside the body, palms face forward, lift your chest. Close your eyes as soon as you're comfortable with it, and look how close you are to the chair, so you can always just hold on. So as we close our eyes, we don't feel like we've lost our bearings. Catch up with your breath. That's our intention right now, that we feel really caught up and we're smoothing out the breath, feeling the rhythm in our body once again. I listened to a book, how much of this do I want to share, that refers to the breath as a river. I just absolutely adore that image, that the river within us. All right, now as we open the eyes, here's where you might need your folded up towel to put on your chair. Step your foot onto it. Let's say everybody's got their right foot on, just to make it easy. Everybody put your right foot on the chair. So you want your foot to be on the outside. So position yourself so that foot is on the outside edge, not the one that's near backrest. Get it? And so I want you to just pulse a little bit. Oh, grab your block. It could be helpful. Just put it on your chair. Could be helpful. You might not ever need it, but I wanted to remind us to use it if we needed it. So start by just some pulses. Hips are square, shoulders are square, and you're just pulling your hips forward and back. See if you can go to the point where you start to, lift up your toes so you can start to straighten your leg a little bit more. So it's just the sole of the foot down, and we're pulsing our hips forward and back and straightening the leg as much as we are able, or introducing that as much as we want to. Now let's get a little bit more non-linear. This is what, you might easily can see. This is just linear movement. Let's just get a little more circular. So that's where the block might come in handy, because you could either hold on to the back of the chair and start pulling your bottom way over into a circle and away. Let's keep the standing foot in place. Keep that foot on the floor. Let it stay right where it is, and you're going to move around that. That's kind of the pillar that we're moving around. Where the block could come in handy is some of you might be able to kind of get lower. You don't have to use the back of the chair. You want to get a little lower. So maybe the block is like kind of the perfect spot, or just holding onto the seat of the chair. Now start pulling around. You're looking for sensation. You're stretching where your body says, oh yeah, and include that you have rolled onto the pinky edge of your foot. Occasionally, I want you to roll onto the pinky edge of your foot. In any of what I just talked about, you could do it with flat foot, or that you're on toward the pinky edge of your foot, rolled onto that. So given just the block, you might think, I'm never going to use the block. You give it a toss. I just wanted you to know it could be used if that was useful for you. Keep moving. Get some stretching in there. Really try to pull your hips away from center. and roll onto that pinky edge. Now come upright with me. Roll onto the pinky edge. Get your right hand. We're all working on our right leg. Right hand is coming inside of that leg, kind of pushing that leg off. Bring your hips forward and back as you keep it rolled off, and you're just kind of forward and back. Keep your gaze at your chair as much as possible, as little looking away to the screen or something away from you. Keep your gaze right where you are. Now, put the sole of your foot right down, squared away. Let's create a 90-degree angle. As best as we can, 90-degree angle. So your knee is right over your ankle. And that standing foot, that standing leg is supporting your hips. So your hips are square. Feet should be the exact same way, all, exactly pointing the same direction. That bottom foot, don't let your toes point away from center. Now lift your chest up. Let's bring our palms together at the heart. Breathe in, breathe out. Feel the balance of that. And you could keep your right hand on your chest as your heart center and just hold on to the chair. Maybe that's the stability you need. Or palms together in the prayer position. We're going to start moving into a twist. So take your left hand and just cross it over toward the outside of your right leg that you've got up there. Take your right arm and swing it way behind. Pull it way behind. So you've all of a sudden gone from forward facing to side facing. Breathe in, breathe out. Nice job. Let's unwind from that. Get both feet to the floor. I want you to just shake it out a little bit. I've got to move over to the other side of the chair. Maybe you do too. Other foot, left foot now. Step it up. And this whole thing starts with pulsing. So this is the linear movement where we just start getting used to it. How far you have, stepped, how far that back foot is away from the chair. That all has to kind of be, determined what's going to be best and stable for me. Yet gives you the challenge you're looking for. Now let's start including some of that rolling onto the pinky edge of the foot. Now it's no longer linear. This is where you might use your block because that would allow you to get closer, down, folding down a little bit more. The block just kind of gives you sort of a medium place to be instead of quite so low. You're looking for sensation. Your body is going to show you right where to go here. If you pay attention and you're willing to stretch into that. I suggested that the standing leg should just really stay put like a pillar. I hope, I'm kind of wondering if that's too strong a word, because you might find as you're circling around that you need to step a little bit because it kind of torques your knee. Certainly don't fight that torquing. Give way, take care of your knee if that starts to feel like that. Get into it, stretch it back. Good. Now let's meet with our rolled foot. So maybe you step a little closer. I don't know. And you've rolled onto the pinky edge of your foot. I've got my foot pretty centered on the chair, and I'm pressing my hand into that thigh. So left hand onto the inside of the left thigh, forward and back here. Works great to have one hand on the back of the chair, one hand on that inner thigh. I know what I forgot. Let's roll the foot onto the chair because I think when I talked about it on the other side, we kind of pulled back to a straight leg. Let's not miss that. Pull back to a straight leg and let your toes come up. All right, now let's create that 90-degree angle. So you're going to be close enough to the chair. Standing leg is close to the chair. Now create as best you can a 90-degree angle so your knee is right over your ankle. Foot is flat. Stand up tall. Palms come to the prayer position. We'll see on this side if we could extend. See if it works for you to lift up, palms together up and overhead. Pull in the belly. Finish the breath every time. Bring hands back to the chest, back to the heart center here. And let's set up for the twist. Right hand comes right past your thigh. You got a hold of it now. The back hand can sweep way back there. So you've gone from forward facing to side facing in your twist. Let your hand really keep that leg positioned well. You're not going to let it droop off to the side. You're going to hold it nice and strong. Lift up the chest. Go back to the rhythm of your breath. Stay with it until you found the rhythm return. Let's unwind. We're going to get both feet to the floor. Now, do you remember we did our plank? Let's try the plank again. So your shoulders are above your wrists. You're stepping back, stepping back. Maybe the heels are up and you feel like, you know, your body has planked out. Let's find a real strong back body. Now, some of you might have quite a little bend here. You might have yourself where your butt is kind of up. That's okay. It's a great place to start. Plank position. Pull your chin in towards your throat. Now, step your feet forward just a smidge. Bend those knees. Keep your heels lifted. Remember, we're going to create a cow position. See that lumbar curve, chest is lifting. And we're going to take that cow into the downward dog. So pull your bottom back, 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 keeping that lumbar curve in place. Let your head just come right down between your arms. Press your heels to the floor. Feet should be straight here. Breathe in, breathe out. Best down dog you've done, right? Finish the breath each and every time. Let's start walking toward the chair. Go slow. Bend your knees so that we can round up one vertebrae at a time. Keep your head low until your body has come upright. And then their head will lift up and we're in our mountain pose. Just stay right near your chair so you feel like you've got the safety net of that. Make sure your feet are straight. Let's close our eyes and let's feel this as a full body experience of breath. I want you to inhale from the soles of your feet up through the front of your body. So it takes a long inhale for that inhale to come all the way to the crown of the head. Exhale down or descend that exhale down the back side of your body, back to the soles of your feet. So it's like we're breathing Mother Earth. You know, we're going to let that be our source of this energy that we call the breath right now. That's coming from the earth. Let it be coming up through the front side, ascending. And when it reaches the crown of the head, the breath descends the back side of the body back to the earth. Eyes closed if you can feel, if you're comfortable with that. Takes a long breath, doesn't it? Remember, don't lock your knees, just give a little micro bend there. You'll feel stronger when you give it that little bend. Give it one more full body breath, connecting us to the earth. Beautiful. We're going to top it off with a really fun balance pose. So we're right here near the chair seat, keeping I've got right hand is so whatever you're standing, like my right leg is my standing leg, my right hand is my standing arm. Gotta move my chair a bit. And I'm gonna lift up the left leg. So just any amount, and your gaze is looking at the chair seat. So this might be where you start. Why don't you watch me before you try it? Some of you might be able to bring your leg up a little higher, up at the height of your hips, turning so your hand's at your waistline. And maybe you can reach your hand toward the ceiling. So anywhere in between that is where we're going. It's a one-legged balance. Start by balancing on your right leg. Your right hand is supporting you by being on the chair. You don't want the towel on your chair now. I don't want you to slip around there. So move that if you need some direction with that. Bend the knee when you're coming out of it. Let that standing leg bend a bit. Come up nice and easy. I'm going to move the other way. You might say, I'm done. I'm going to sit. It's okay. You want to do the other side? Similar setup. Left leg, left hand, that's your standing, your source of support. So your right arm and your right leg get to go airborne. Remember, any amount works. So if you just lift your foot up off the floor, and that's how you balance. It's helpful to look at a particular place, that you're staring at. You're finding a drishti for more balance. Breathe in, breathe out. Your breath is really informing you whether or not this feels safe to you or not. If your breath is choppy, I'd say give it just come on out of it. Beautiful. Round your back, keep your head low, come up and out of it. Now both feet, of course, are on the ground. We're coming up. Let's take a big breath in, palms together overhead. Exhale, bow to your heart. Inhale up. And exhale, circle all the way around. Let's interlace our hands behind our back, pull those knuckles back and away. Let's give a nice stretch for the pecs, the whole chest area. Let those shoulder blades really squeeze together back there. So you're just pulling back and away. Notice how that feels in your neck when you've got your shoulders positioned like this. I like to just sort of walk around with it. There we go. Let's release and reset the body. We're coming into Shavasana now. If there's still something your body needs, if there's still a little adjustment that your body needs, then I want you to be sure and do that. Give yourself a stretch that your body is still craving. If you use a second chair, of course, this is the time we're doing all of that, getting our second chair so we can elevate our feet. Big cleansing breaths to help you get settled. A cooling breath comes out the mouth. So that means inhale through your nose and exhale out of your mouth. That's considered a way to cool the body down. So if that's of any use to you, use that kind of cooling breath technique. Let your exhale come out of your mouth. Nice and easy, not that sighing and pushing it out, not that one. It's a nice, long, luxurious exhale out of your mouth. So this is our restful time. Many teachers don't refer to this as Shavasana. They refer to it as final relaxation. very common. This is final relaxation. I'm going to step off screen, so I haven't gone anywhere, but I am not on the screen anymore. So I just want you to find your method of finding a nice, steady, full breath in, full breath out. A new mantra I have introduced you to over the last couple weeks: Sat Nam. Sat, spelled S-A-T, Nam, N-A-M, Sat Nam. It's used as a connection to the breath. Inhale, Sat. Exhale, Nam. That's deep into the yoga tradition, this particular mantra, very much a bedrock of mantra. It is connecting us to this present moment. This is what's real, this very moment of this very breath. Sat Nam. I'm going to read the reflection that I sent out in the email today. Now that's the reading for today. God did not make us to be eaten up by anxiety, but to walk erect, free, unafraid in a world where there is work to do, truth to seek, love to give and win. Today stands before us with promise. It invites us to fully participate in experiences, that we are alive, that we stand present facing this day, guarantees that we are qualified to handle every challenge that snags our attention. And we need have no fear. The world and all that's in it is spirit-full. We are safe and secure if we but believe it. When we look toward the day with confidence, we tap the inner strength that is ever present. The more frequently we turn to this strength, the less often we are haunted by pangs of anxiety. Our trust in that strength heightens our faith and our understanding that all is well. Always and forever, all is well. Giving up fear offers a freedom that will exhilarate us. Faith, trust, confidence will ready us for any challenge, all experiences. Nothing needs to make me fearful today. I am here. Therefore, God is here too. Let's create a particular breath practice and simply use that cooling breath method I just gave you. Inhale through your nose. Exhale, blow it out like you're blowing a candle. So the exhale comes through your mouth. Full breath in through the nose. Full breath out through the mouth. Relax your shoulders, soften your belly. Full breath in through the nose, full breath out through the mouth. All right, let's take a big breath in through the nose. This time, exhale it out with a sigh. Ah. And we'll start to introduce movement back in the body. We're going to come forward enough on the chair that our feet are grounded again. We're no longer lying into the backrest. Let's finish our practice today with some gentle movements through the neck, the shoulders, and even our hands. So I want you to sit up tall and draw circles with your head. Use your chin to point the way, and you just close your eyes and start to circle around, mindfully feeling your way into the circular direction. Stay with the same circle, the same direction. Nice and easy. Relax your shoulders all the way down into its full range of movement in this circular fashion. And the next time your chin is dropped towards your chest bone, let's use that as an opportunity to change the direction of our circle. Take it nice and easy. Could be very different on this side. So you're just giving yourself all that kind of awareness to pay attention to how does this go over here. Keep yourself in a very upright position. You don't want to have your rounded shoulders and your chest caved in. That is no place for moving the head. This is how we're going to be much more supported, is very, very upright, shoulders back and down. Excellent. Let's come back to center now. I just want you to open and close your hands. Just open and close your hands so you feel all of the joints. And inhale up. Palms are going to be up and overhead. And when you come down with that, start circling your hands. So this is what's happening. We're circling the hands all the way down. So we're moving into the wrist joint, circling. Maybe you change the direction of that. All the way down. Beautiful. All right, just kind of twinkle them like you're twinkling on a keyboard here, just there we go. All right, thanks for joining me. Let's close it up. Inhale with me, palms come together overhead, look up. Exhale, bow to the heart. Inhale up. Exhale, let's share this energy, this lovely, beautiful, peaceful energy with our community. I love that part. Palms come together in the prayer position. We bow to ourselves and we bow to each other. Namaste, my friends. And thank you for joining me, as always.